structurally, the combat serves its purpose of adding variety to the gameplay, so you aren't just doing dialogue trees the entire game. Especially since the dialogue trees aren't usually that interesting, because you're kind of just clicking on all the options, more or less. It's one of those types of dialogue games. And so you're not really doing a lot of gameplay choices, so that it's at least more to do to be able to do a fight and choose your abilities to fight with and try to overcome and everything. Story-wise, though, I'm not sure if the fighting works at all, because I kill so many people in a game where every life is supposed to be so sacred and impactful, and also there's so many vampires everywhere that I can't imagine that any of these people could ever survive.
Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour?
I'm conducting an investigation about the epidemic in this part of town.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are and why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke Doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
For the Ascalon Club. Here is my permit to go freely about the city.
The Ascalon Club? You should have said so, sir. I must warn you, these streets are dangerous, and you'd better be careful.
What can you tell me about this district?
I'm the one asking questions, especially when there's a killer on the loose.
I just said that I'm from the Ascalon Club. Isn't that supposed to change your tone?
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with the civilians, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting? Perhaps I could help you.
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
And what about the epidemic?
We both know the situation is critical, don't we, Doctor? Colleagues of mine die almost every day.
What are you really doing here?
I told you. I'm a detective inspector from Scotland Yard, investigating suspicious cases in the area.
Do you work alone?
Yes, the situation is difficult for the police. Many of us are sick, and since the summer strike, most men apply a work to rule on their patrols.
What about the situation in the East End? Why are there no police there to protect the civilians?
I know, it's a shame, but we just don't have enough men to cover the entire city.
Why are you investigating at night?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange which requires police attention?
I'd like to report a name, Inspector. Jeffrey McCullum. I'm afraid he's some sort of vigilante trying to recruit an army of angry citizens.
Then I'll write the name down and transmit this intelligence to the appropriate office. Thank you, sir.
Tell me all you know about that homicidal maniac you're looking for.
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same, but the modus operandi varies. Sometimes violent and brutal, sometimes precise and swift.
How could different killers inflict the same wounds?
That's my main problem. If my theory is correct, maybe we're facing a group of individuals sharing the same violent tendencies. Perhaps a sadist cult.
What are you investigating, exactly?
I have a missing woman, possibly abducted a few nights ago. Louise Teasdale. It seems you already found my other missing person, Mr. Tadao Kimura.
Tell me about Louise Teasdale.
She's a waitress. Her father reported her missing. We don't have enough men to search for her, sadly.
Do you have any idea where she could be?
No, but I feel she's been abducted. She went to a pub a few nights ago and vanished. I thought about the sewers, but I'm not equipped for such an investigation.
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it, with just one phone call.
Goodbye, Detective Inspector Albright.
Goodbye, Dr. Jonathan Reid. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Lots of sweeping back and forth emotionally about that conversation. So he seemed to I don't know, actually. He said the strikes were brought to an end. That doesn't really imply a good thing or a bad thing necessarily. He could have forced the strikes to end with the police not getting what they wanted or something. He sent me to find, didn't send me, but he told me about, told me a bit about the missing person I already found. So that's all redundant at this point. But the ongoing thing I was hoping for is he talks about some murderer. But also he's always out at night. So he's investigating at night, and he'll always be out at night, because that's how the characters work in this game. If they're not at night, you'll never meet them. But then after all that, like, I was like, oh, he's gonna be the killer. I can't wait to find out he's the killer, because then I can feed on him, and that'll be more experience for later, when I find out that he's the local Jack the Ripper. But then I got the fucking option to just ask him what he thought about the killer, and he's told me, and I'm like, ah, shit, he has to tell me the truth when that's happening, doesn't it? I really wanted him to be the killer. Y'all having a conversation over there? Y'all seem awfully suspicious, you know. Wait, are you the same person? What the? Wait, are you the same person? Are you twins?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. Can I be of assistance?
Dr. Reid? Dr. Reid?
Is there anything wrong?
No, it's just... your name sounds familiar. And your face. Have we met before?
I think I would remember. So I suppose the answer is no.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you. My name is Pericles Baker. Does that mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure to meet you anyway.
The pleasure is mine, I guess. I only wish I could remember when it was that we met.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Baker. What are you doing out here in the middle of the night?
We are waiting. Waiting for someone.
And why are you waiting for this person?
Because we need to leave this city. As soon as possible.
Why do you want to leave the city?
I'm not really sure.
Can you tell me anything about this district?
As you like asking questions so much, would you allow me to ask you one first?
Please, be my guest.
Do you like this city?
I don't know. I was born and raised in London, but I feel like a stranger here recently.
You didn't answer my question, sir, but I don't blame you. Perhaps it's better that way.
And what do you do, sir? For a living, that is.
I stopped working when I decided to leave. When I realized what I wanted. Wanted something this city can't provide.
But what were you doing before you took this decision?
Does it really matter anymore? Considering the past seems so pointless to me. I have lived in this city all my life. And now I think it's over.
Tell me more about why you want to leave London, then.
I just don't belong here anymore. I had to convince my brother to leave London because I know we need to find another life out of the city.
Who are you waiting for? I'm sure he has a name.
I really can't answer that question, since I don't know that person.
And why is that?
This person is mostly my brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Only that this man could help us leave this city once and for all.
But why would you need this person's help to leave London anyway?
Well, I thought we should have left this cursed place already, but my brother convinced me to stay a while longer. And here we are.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it.
Goodbye, Mr. Baker.
Where'd he go? Sibling, where have you fled to? Oh, there he is. He moved back to the table. I mean, the bench. Loot it. There we go. Pericles and Agamemnon. Hell of a name. I was thinking I might be able to spy on them, but maybe not.
Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Jonathan Reid. Do you need my help?
Yes, please. Would you be kind enough to tell me what the time is?
That's all you need to know.
Well, is it not important to know? As important as where you are? Or who you are?
I suppose you're right. And who are you then, sir?
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother, I think we need to leave this city immediately. And my brother and I rarely agree on anything.
May I ask what you're doing outside at this hour of night?
I don't know. You should ask my brother instead. It was his idea in the first place.
You must have your own ideas.
From what I have managed to understand, I guess we're supposed to wait here. Waiting for someone to come.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's the only place I've considered myself happy. Or at least that's what I believe. Unfortunately, it's time to leave.
Why is that?
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore. Are you?
No, I'm not.
Good for you. It's a good thing to have a clear idea of where you stand concerning crucial questions. Don't you think?
May I ask why you've not gone already, if you're so exasperated by this long wait?
I believe fear is holding us back. My brother would have said it's laziness, but it's just because he's prouder than I am.
What can you tell me about your brother?
He's older than me, I think. But the important thing is that I really hope I'll die before him. Grief would just kill me, you know?
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached to this city, and without my insistence, he would never leave this place. We don't often agree on anything, you see?
Who are you waiting for exactly?
The more I think about it, the more I believe it's not exactly a person we are waiting for.
But what else could it be then?
I don't know. A feeling? An event? An impulse? How can I tell? Something that would allow us to leave this trap.
I'm afraid I'm not following you. What kind of trap are you talking about?
Have you ever felt like life trapped you in a role that does not fit you? That you are not in your place? That sort of trap.
Trap? And you think leaving London will free you?
At least it will give us the chance to be free. That's more than our present situation. Hope, Doctor. Hope is what truly drives mankind.
Agamemnon and Pericles Baker have opposing explanations about the current situation. They're waiting for something or someone before leaving the city. Yeah, they say they rarely agree, although they seem to both say that they're the ones who's... I think they both claim that they're the one who wants to leave. Like they have to pull the other one around. God, they're like they're identical, aren't they? Their hints are also identical, basically. They actually took the time to rewrite the messages. So their names switch with each other, but there's also another strange change in the descriptions of both of them. One says opposing, and the other one says opposite in the top message. And then in the bottom message, there's a period after something, for some reason. And it says it goes from 2 to before. Like they're incredibly slight rephrasings.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
You should ask that question to my brother instead. Personally, I've not seen Aloysius for many years.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Baker.
Well, now I've got to wonder whether I'm going to ask them about how much they contradict each other.
Good evening, Mr. Baker.
Why do I always have feelings of deja vu when I talk to you?
Pericles, tell me why your brother disagrees with your presence here.
Agamemnon is naive sometimes. Although don't consider him a fool, sir. He is often more lucid than me.
At least you both have the same difficulty explaining what you're doing, and for what reason.
But is that not a common problem for all mortals?
What can you tell me about your brother?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should speak with him instead of wasting your time with me. He has always been the more gentle of us.
That's it? That's all you can tell me about him?
For the time being, true kindness is the most valuable quality, my good sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Baker.
They keep looping me back and forth, saying to talk to the other one.
Hello again, Dr. Reid.
But is this the dead end now? I think it is for now.
For now, Mr. Baker.
I am not sure what's going on with them. They're really odd. But we'll let that sit for now. Bizarre. I'm still gonna make my mind up about what I think I want to do with Alois. Aloysius, I mean, not Alois. How's that completion doing, by the way? Down to 2 people. I know who she is. That's the daughter. I just haven't been able to find her. She wandered off the moment I got in, and then she wouldn't come back. Then I need to find a Sikh. Oh, is he in the tomb down here? Oh, that might be him. Pressure plate. Spooky. What the hell? Okay, there's at least 4 pressure plates in here. That's odd. There must be a combination to open something. There he is. And I just ripped that off his table. The crime of lost knowledge. Vampires are dangerous, deadly, vicious sometimes. This is a fact, and I won't deny it. And that's precisely why we must understand what they are. Sometimes, who they are, in order to achieve a better mutual understanding. Do you remember the interview with Titus Flavius Josephus, conducted by one of us in 1548, when he finally encountered the creature in Spain? Do you remember how each of the very carefully chosen words expressed by this vampire warmed our heart each time we read them? For they were all extraordinary windows into a past, of which we only have glimpses. Well, Titus Flavius Josephus is no more, since the Vatican's hunters destroyed him a few weeks ago, and with him vanishes unearthed treasures of knowledge about the pillars of our civilization. This is a crime, probably as heartbreaking as the killing of an innocent life by a vampire. This is exactly why the path of the Guard of Prywin is as criminal as it is barren. For each time they successfully conduct one of their methodical hunts on the old vampires of England, instead of carefully and respectfully approaching them, they destroy a part of our common roots with the immortals. They wipe an opportunity. The concept of great hunt is a crime, for it blindly kills words and thoughts. From Drinking the Fountain of Knowledge by Usher, Talltree. We're filling this in now. Do I have exactly what the other guy wanted? I need to find fertile as the belly of the beast. Yeah, Violence of Volkaz from earlier is in there. Still working on that too.
It's locked.
A red river, a song in the dark, the whispers of a sun. So many signs to interpret. Jonathan Reid. At last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do. Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell me a truth.
The cards told you to expect me.
Yes, they tell me everything. They told me that you struggle hard not to take too many lives.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
I really don't know. I don't often go outside. And when I do, it's usually to quite distant destinations.
So you see nothing in the stars for me? You're a poor fortune teller then.
Oh, I can tell you many things, but they will only concern you, not the city. For example, I know that you offered your sister the final rest she asked for.
Do the cards speak of my Mary?
No. It's the burning aura of guilt that precedes you everywhere you go.
Read my fortune, then.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do here, besides turning cards in the middle of the night?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
Some believe you to be a vampire. Who?
The guard of Priwen, who else? For a time, they sent spies to observe my activities, and they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course. I do ask one thing, though. Do not read it, Jonathan. Some secrets are not meant to be revealed, even to immortals.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time, sometimes a little muddled, but always looking for new paths and new concepts.
Can you read the cards for me?
Are you sure you want to know what they will reveal?
Yes, I am.
It will cost you 150 shillings.
Here is the money.
The alchemist. A wise and cunning mind who lives by lying to all but himself. He sells false promises and is proud of it.
He just outed that dude. Am I right? You just outed that dude. The Swansboro Miracle Elixir is a fraud. As suspected. And now they're both ripe. But the irony would be that if I attacked both of them... he's worth less. Because I have the information, but I'm still missing another hint, apparently. There's still more to get. I need to finish this Cure for Blindness quest, probably. The problem here is that if I attack them, I could doom the entire district to do that damn meter, even though they're actively a problem. Oh. I'm also leaving them behind on mesmerization level, so it might the opportunity may come late. I thought he was going to read my fate, not random people. So I could just, like, fill in clues with this guy? Huh. Interesting option to have. Just to give me a random clue for a random character somewhere around town.
May I ask you about the Brotherhood?
Of course. But I must warn you that there are some subjects we consider taboo, in spite of our fondness and acceptance of your kind.
I know there is no love lost between the Guard of Priwen and the Brotherhood. What caused this rift?
It was 1801. The Brotherhood was stronger then, a strength that made them hungry for ever greater power. An argument divided them, and and the wound never healed.
What was the nature of the disagreement?
The problem was that both sides considered themselves the legitimate heirs of the original Brotherhood. We divide up the books, the relics, not always fairly or with consideration.
Who founded the Brotherhood?
That's precisely the kind of question I cannot answer. It is delicate and may reveal some of our secret traditions.
So you're not just a club of academics and scholars.
Once upon a time, very long ago, the Brotherhood did more than simply study the vampires. They took actions to eliminate the more ferocious and corrupted.
How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
I would rather not know. How do you...
I told
Is it... All right. Let me hear it.
The walls of your prison have already been raised, Jonathan. But you will freely accept to be locked inside, full of hope for a better day.
How did you learn about Mary? And spare me the hocus-pocus parlor tricks. The truth, now!
Swansea told me. Don't look at me like that. His task is to observe and gather information about vampires. He had to tell me about Mary.
Mary did not deserve her fate. She had already suffered enough during her life. And yet the pain and the suffering went on after her death.
Suffering is part of the immortal condition. Some prefer to lose their minds rather than face the simple truth. Pain will never stop.
Is there anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew. I'm talking forbidden texts, readings which blackened his heart.
His twin brother died in a plane crash, and Aloysius is a member of a Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Seems like a great guy. Wow, he's not even worth a lot of experience, even though he's level 6. Oh, that's gonna be a bummer. Although the quest itself gives you experience. Hey, we've almost filled it in.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely wander, yet it amuses me to converse with your kind. A red river, a song in the dark, the whispers of a sun. So
That's
many
bound to be
signs
interesting.
to interpret.
So if I want to, I can talk to him and fill in a quest. What is this, though? 2 light tiles, 2 dark tiles. I don't think it comes down to trying to press them all quickly or anything. My sense does not illuminate the area. Does not add something for me. There's other diamond shapes around here in the forms of carpets and whatnot, but they don't really give me an answer. Maybe it'll be somewhere else in the game. I don't know.
The Fool and the Empress, again. What are the cards?
The fall of the Empress again. What are the cards trying to tell us? I wonder if they're trying to foreshadow the idea of Lady Ashbury dying in this game, which is something that I kind of continually suspect. just because it would pack. It's one of the only characters they could kill that have some kind of emotional punch, because it's one of the only characters that's that developed, really. A lot of them are like random side characters. They can be somewhat, they can be interesting and have more going on, but there's a sense of unimportance to all of them. They remind me of they remind me a bit of all the random people you meet in Wasteland 2, where some of them are more developed than others, but by and large the game allowed you to kill anyone, so they kind of couldn't be too important, and that's kind of what's happening here. Whereas Lady Ashbury kind of comes with a built-in implied permanence and significance, which of course you can subvert by killing her.
Best be on your way home.
Best be on your way home. Just exploring. There it is. And there's the money. Missing. Is it the person I found? Not sure I have much in the way of things to craft. Well, we're filling these in. And there's the proper high-level healing item. Expensive. Mainly for the blood sample part. Instantly regenerate 140 blood points. Oh right, blood points. That's why it's a smaller number. I'll craft myself a proper healing item. Do I do it? God damn, it becomes powerful. Booth's axe goes up to 500 damage. I'll give it another another whirl. I can make it even higher, or I can go even higher on the blood points. We can give it a shot. See if it pans out. That is a whole lot of health. So 800 instantly, 150 over 15 seconds. The leftover regen is pretty small. Overall, I have exactly I have that much health. Wow, yeah, 950 is how much health I have. I wonder if it's... Is that just a massive coincidence, or did it like scale to me or something? Because that's weird. We are in chapter 5 now. Need to go into the mansion and make a choice. I wonder how many chapters there are. Like, am I close to the end or nowhere near it?